This guy got the Mickey Mouse. 1 ear, 2 ear. He's a corporate shill. Brian! What you doing? Looking at me. I thought you said a carise and desist, and I was like, what does that mean? What does carise and desist mean? The new Nikes? Carise and desist on the new Nikes? Nikes? Needs to be iron. What the heck? British Badger? Where is it? It's not doing it. I'm gonna have to fix it. Where did it go? All of the alerts are on this page. So why didn't they alert? I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Did it do any of the other ones? Certainly it did, right? Certainly. Let's check this one. Because there is one for 10. I got sugar all over my desk. 10 is supposed to be me going down the hallway. Where is it? Oh my god. My mouse has got sugar underneath it because I ate a lot of cookies at my desk. Let's try this again. There it is. Right? I didn't share. I did share with some people. Just unfortunately, it wasn't any of you. Oopsie daisies. Oopsie daisies. I made a bunch of cookies. Did I post a picture of it somewhere? I don't think I did. I don't hate you all. I did not hate you all. I don't hate you. Hold on, let me find a picture of it. I'll show you. I say it wouldn't be safe for me to share cookies with you. Hold on, I'm looking. I heard someone entering my home. From Boba has image. A lot of me as Vindicta hitting the gritty. A diagram of what happens when an IUD happens. A lot of not safe for work. Deadlock art. Let's see. Oh my god, when you guys see this, you are gonna freak out because they were delicious. And I did eat a lot of them. Hold on. Shit. Let me close out all of this stuff. And let me go live as the status thing on Blue Sky. Hold on. I was late for a good reason. Well, not really a good reason. I was late because there was just a bit of commotion going on in the hallway here that I was making sure that I did not have to intervene in some way, but I may still retroactively intervene later. So I've got to... I maybe will do that. But that's just something else anyways. Okay. I will show you these cookies. And I will bring up the recipe for you. Let me Google it. Because every time I need to do it, I basically Google it. Although I do have it... Oh my gosh. I do have it written down as well in an actual like recipe book that I started making, which is just a spiral notebook. Okay, here's the recipe. Let me just make sure this is the correct one, because the other day when I went to make it, I started reading the recipe and I was like, you're saying incorrect. Okay, where's recipe? Here it is. Yes, this is the right one. Does it need all this shit at the end of the URL? It does, apparently. Okay, here's the recipe. Also, oh my goodness, before you leave, British Badger. Okay, you're lurking. That's fine then, of course. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. I appreciate that so much. It will go towards home decorating, which I'm so excited for. I'm very excited. Because of course... That's my fanfare thing. Since I don't have claps on my GoXLR. Next weekend I get the keys for my house. Crazy, finally, because I'd been waiting a long time. It's not anything, it's no mansion. It's no huge amount of square feet or anything, but it is something that I will own eventually in 30 years. Ugh. Or faster, somehow. Birthday house, true. What shade of millennial gray? No, I'm doing, I want to do... Because it's going to be a fucking dumbass term, but I will say the term anyways. Dark academia is what I'm going for. I will show you in a minute. Which is basically Vampire House. Basically. Bought 10 Downing Street. I'm gonna live there and I'm gonna kick out all the guys. You deserve it. Thank you. Shows the Pinterest board of house design. I do have a Pinterest board. However, Pinterest is also full of AI images that you sometimes cannot tell if they are real or not until you fucking look at them, which is stupid as hell. There it is. Okay, let me say thank you to people really quick. Shell made me kiss the cats, so thank you for that. Kamikaze, 79 months. Thank you very much. TB Saint, 59 months. Thank you very much. Bjorn, thank you for the bits. Uncle Ninja. Holding it down. Uncle Ninja, the foundation. Gilgamesh is licking himself in a box, and I heard it, and I didn't know what it was, but now I know. British Badger, thank you so much for subscribing for the first time as well. Disco, Uncle Ninja, thank you for the streaks. Oh, my throat is drying out. Okay, Mito Choco. You're gonna get clotheslined, you fuck. Also, thank you for the 10 gifted subs again. British Badger. Miles, 100 streams. Bjorn, 90 streams. Thank you. And also, Bjorn said, I appreciate you. Good luck with the new house. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Mostly, I'm excited to have a conservatory, which for Americans is basically like a sunroom sort of thing, or like a greenhouse, but for people. For people to live in. Okay, I will show you these cookies that I made. Let me turn this music down because it's started. Oh my. 1 second. Sorry, just dealing with the best piece of hardware in the fucking tech world, which is the GoXLR, which for some reason, if I even nudge this one, which all I did was try to turn the volume down, it suddenly thought that it was unplugged from the computer. So amazing. Love that. Hello, Vay. Cats will love the conservatory. I know. I'm so excited for that. I have to think though of something, because basically I have my house, which has 2 stories and is 2-bedroom, and then the conservatory's added on to that, and then I have a garden that will have a hot tub in it because they're letting me keep the hot tub, and also a little shed because they're letting me keep that too. And then you walk out of the house across the garden, and there is an outbuilding that is a recording studio, which is absolutely insane to have found a house within my budget that essentially has a fucking recording studio. And that part of the property is a building that is like 14 feet by 12 feet or something, and also split into 2 parts. I would say rooms, but there's no door between them. And so I'll have the larger area be where my streaming setup is, and I'll also have like my desk, and then I think a second desk or table for doing craft streams at. And then in the second room, which they were using as a 3rd bedroom, I think I'll put, because I've wanted to have a pole, like, for pole dancing and stuff for a while, but didn't have the space. So I think I'll have that room will have the pole in it, and also just like a nice cozy thing. And maybe also that room, the floor, the ceiling, and the walls could be green screen. So I think that could be really fun. And that's what I was about to say, Super Scoober, is I don't know how to do it, because obviously I spend a lot of time on my computer. But I need a way for the cats to go from the house to the streaming house, because I do not want them to go outside. They are too dumb, and I don't want anyone to steal them or run them over or anything. So they are indoor only guys, but they'll have a conservatory, so I think they'll be happy. And now they'll have more room. And stairs? I feel like cats will like stairs. A cat tunnel. I may do that. I might do that. That, or I was thinking, almost like, I don't know how else to explain it besides saying, you know how in Jurassic Park 3, they have the big aviary with all the pterodactyls, and then the walkway just has, it's just a tunnel that's got the fences around it. Maybe like that or something. I can't figure out stairs are loud if stomped on. I see. I've got carpet. And I don't know if, because I plan on moving in a bit slowly so that it's not stressful. But I was thinking, do I paint already now before I move in and before there's furniture everywhere? Or do I not worry about that yet and worry about that later? Because painting is also a pain in the ass. We're about to adopt 2 cats, Dottie and Coco. That sounds so nice. Congrats. Paint before you move furniture. I know, I'm thinking about that. Oh, you'll wreck the paint moving stuff in. That makes sense too. See, there's the pros and cons of painting before anything else is in there. Or painting afterwards. And I might wait. And paint smell is hell. That's true. I think... That true? That's true. There's a lot of, ventilation and stuff, though, I think will be nice. The decorators do the painting. I see. How far will the tunnel need to be? Ooh, good question. I'll have to check that. Recommend moving the cat stuff early. I was thinking about how I want to do that because I was thinking I take some of the cat stuff early and then take the cats there early, maybe? Because I don't want them to have to deal with being around movers too much. And if I took them to the new house and then had them in the bedroom where is the least amount of furniture that needs to be put in, then they don't have to deal with the movers being here making more noise until they take the stuff over, and I feel like that will be easier. Move big furniture, leave it in the middle of room, paint before setting up. That could be good. You want the cats in the house while you're painting. That's true. But they could also hang out in the conservatory when I do that. Kept the cats in one room for the first week? Yeah. Someone could babysit them too, that's true. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this painting and this moving stuff. Morton, thank you for the tier 3 and the 70 months. Send them to Shell. I could do that. With the cat tunnel, you end up leaking heat from the house where it would connect. True. But I think if it went from the conservatory across, it wouldn't be too bad. But also, I think if I did the silly, like, Jurassic Park 3 thing, then it's like, it's basically like a bird aviary kind of thing. And as long as the height of that is not too tall, you don't need building permission for it. That's not Skrillex, that's Lime. That has like a bunch of photos from people in it, which I should add more. Don't flip your house, the furniture will get messed up. Also a good point. Rabbit hutches, that could be good. I think it'd be nice to have like almost like how people do catios, but it's just a tunnel one, a tube, and then like a door on the side of it to go in and out. But that sounds a bit extra. Or it could just be they just don't go in the streaming studio, and then I spend like less time on the computer as well. Or I get just a personal computer in the house instead. Something. Chicken tunnels. It's true. A chicken tunnel. That's what they are. That's what they need. Alright, here's these, the cookies I made from that recipe. This recipe. It's very unhealthy. Half a cup of sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of peanut butter, half a cup of butter, an egg, 1.5 cups of flour, 3/4 teaspoon baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and then sugar again. Because what you do is you mix all this shit together, you roll the cookies into balls, or I roll them into a ball and then slightly squish them because I like them to spread out a bit more. And then you roll them around in sugar. And if you keep them in a ball shape, they stay kind of like more round like this. But I like them to be a bit more spread out. And then this recipe, the original, these are peanut butter blossoms is what they're called, is usually you put a Hershey's Kiss in the middle of them. I don't think they have those here. And also Cadbury's chocolate is really good anyways, so I use milk chocolate. normally I do not put 3 of them on a cookie, but when I ordered the chocolate bar, instead of the like normal size Cadbury bar that's like this big, they were out of that, I guess, so they sent me the one that was like this fucking big. And so I had like triple the amount of chocolate that I normally get. And so I just stacked them on there a bit. Cream egg dairy bar? Yes, dude. You can also, I'm sure you could substitute the peanut butter with something else, or just make regular sugar cookies, and then, because like a sugar cookie recipe is very similar to this, just no peanut butter essentially, I think. But I don't know why I clicked the fucking thing for this one. It decided to make this one small. I made a bunch of them, and then I just put the chocolate on there. And this time, I baked them for a little bit longer than I normally do, because they weren't going like golden around the edge. And they were a bit harder this time, but it wasn't bad because they were kind of chewy. And that was really good. And so what I was doing to eat them was I would bend the cookie in half and then make it into a sandwich. And they were very, very good. And I ate probably about like at least 3 of them a day, but usually I think it was more than that, and I would sometimes have them in the morning. And before I went to the doctor's office the other day, and got my IUD, you're supposed to have some kind of breakfast, and I don't super like eating like right after I wake up. So I had a few cookies before I went. Because this is calories and sugar, which is good before that type of procedure. I made them days ago. When did I make them? Let me see. The picture in my phone will tell me what day it was. 28th of March. And there was how many of them? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. But I gave like, I think like 6 or 7 of them to Ped, because he eats a lot of them, and sometimes I take them into the office. Keep mishearing that as ID and get worried. No, but it was like a missile into my cervix and was very horrible. So, Sid, how dare you? How dare you 6-7 me? Deserve cookies for dealing with that? It was pretty bad. I didn't think it would be as bad as it was, but also my pain tolerance, I think, is very high. And there was a nice lady talking to me while I was having that done. Did they numb you? Yes, they did. So, let me show you what the procedure sort of looks like, but not in a graphic way. I'm sure you can show this stuff. And what is it? Anatomy? Anatomical drawings? Okay. So, make something like this. Let's see, Catio spaces. I would love to learn DIY stuff. Ooh, that would be really good. Along the fence like that could be really nice. I'm gonna bookmark this. Because I think I'm gonna try to make friends with my neighbors, maybe by way of those cookies that I just showed you. Or cakes or something. Hello, Great Mole. Does WikiHow have an article on it? Ooh, maybe they do. Let's see. WikiHow IUD insertion. So I had an IUD. Which stands for intrauterine device. They also call them IUCs. I think IUC is the newer term that they use, which is... They don't have a WikiHow for it, I guess, so that people don't just do it themselves. But I guess I can explain it well enough, maybe. They have a picture with a tenaculum. Yes, unfortunately. So they also say IUC sometimes, which is intrauterine contraceptive. So with birth control, there's like a bunch of different options for birth control. I thought this person there's a picture of someone doing an IUD insertion. I'll just show you because this has nothing vagina in it. I thought this person was pushing this other person away with their foot, and I was like, yeah, I kind of felt like that too. But so an IUD is like a nice option because first of all, you don't have to remember to take a pill every day. You don't have to worry about the side effects of the Depo-Provera shot or injection or whatever, which is the birth control injection. Because that can have some side effects regarding your bone density and stuff. And also, I don't know, I don't want to have to go every, I think it's what, like once a month, every 3 months or something to get the to get a jab. There's also an arm implant that I wouldn't fuck with because I've watched those procedures get done and I hated seeing that. And also I think that one has, what I saw working at the clinic, it had a lot more chances for like bleeding and spotting. An IUD doesn't prevent periods though, does it? So it can. So there's two types of IUD, and one of them is a hormonal IUD, which uses progesterone. And then there is a non-hormonal IUD that has copper wrapped around it, and that doesn't affect your periods as there's no hormones in it. And those are, there's also different sizes of them because the copper ones are the largest, which they're not even super large in comparison. Hello G, we're talking about vaginas and the uteruses and the procedure I did the other day. And so the copper one's a bit larger, and I guess like sperm doesn't want to interact with copper or something like that. And it sees it, it walks in the room, and then it leaves again. It doesn't, but it's something like that. I hate women. I understand. Had the implant and was a fan because it stopped her periods entirely. Yeah, since everybody's works differently, it's it just depends, because some things for one person can work super, super well, and then for another person can be completely different. I can't have the combined pill, and I also have had bad experiences with progesterone-only options, so not ideal. It really depends. I think with the copper one, it's okay, but I do think the copper one can unfortunately sometimes make your periods worse. Or even heavier, just by nature of what it is. Hello, pizza farts. Had the arm thing, never got her arm pregnant, so it must have worked. That sounds good. Doctors tried to get me on the Depo shot, and this was just after the news of the Provera lawsuit of the brain tumor. See, I hadn't heard about that, but I'd heard a lot about, like, bone density. Like, you're not allowed to have the Depo-Provera jab for too long because of it affecting your bone density and things like that. I know AFAB people have it rough, and AMAP people, I guess, just put plastic over your cock or whatever. They need to figure out some man birth control. Also, or rather AMAB, if this if, and I'm just going to say this in a broad, like, general way, if men had to do something like this procedure, the procedure would be entirely different, because the pain of this is a lot. It's like, it comes from the fact that healthcare and shit like that in general for women or people with uteruses is so under researched. And also, most of the time when people with a uterus have pain that they experience, doctors are just kind of like whatever about it. And for the longest time, they didn't think that the cervix, which is this right here at the end of the vagina, at the top of it, they didn't think that that had nerve endings. And so they just would, they still don't really do anything for pain management when they do anything regarding your cervix. And that fucking sucks, because that shit hurts, dude. And so sometimes what needs to be done is they might need to take like a biopsy of your cervix. And so for a very, very long time, until rather recently, they don't do anything to numb that area when they take the biopsy. They just do it, which means that they basically use a mini hole puncher on there to sort of scoop out a bit of the flesh so that they can use that for a biopsy. And for a very long time, they just did that. And that hurts like fuck. Because actually, surprise, surprise, there are a lot of nerve endings in there, which should have been sort of self-evident by the fact that if you even just ram into it too hard, it can be a bit painful. They knocked me out, thank goodness. I'm glad they did that for you, because when I was working at Planned Parenthood, I sat in for a biopsy, like helping the nurse, and they did numb it when they did it, but even through that, I think the person had pain. A small trial for male birth control pills in the UK, which was successful, but I don't think any serious funding is in place to mass produce it. That would be so nice, but also, no offense, I don't know if inherently most men have the attitude towards the responsibility of taking those pills, unless it was like, you take this before you have sex and that's it. I think, unfortunately, and I don't think this is really men's fault, but rather society and the way that men are raised by their mothers, which is also society, is men do not feel... I feel like they do not have as easy as a time of being responsible in this way like women do, because basically society teaches men that your mom will do everything for you until you have a wife, and then your wife will do everything for you, etc. Didn't know you worked at PP. My fam is fairly involved in our state level org. I did. I worked in the Southwest Central Florida region, and I worked specifically at one location, but also I would assist at other locations. And I worked there for, I think, between 2 and 3 years. And if streaming ever didn't work out, and also I had to move back to America, I'd go right back to it again, because I really loved working there. But I had this done on what, Monday morning, and the last time that I had it done, I didn't have any numbing, because at our location, unfortunately, I don't think, well, the standard was not to provide any numbing, because what they say is just take 200 milligrams or something like that of ibuprofen before your visit. But that doesn't do much, essentially because a lot of this is painful, this procedure. Starting with, which is not shown in these pictures, is in order for them to do this insertion, they need to have a hold of the cervix so that it does not move out of their way too much while they're trying to push this in. So the way that they hold on to the cervix is with a tenaculum. And they just sort of fucking pinch it, which hurts like all fuck. And at times, it also does just pierce into the cervix in order for them to hold onto it. And so that is the first part that's painful. And also, this stays on and pinched into it the entire time that they do it. And this is not to sort of like make you not want to get an IUD if you are thinking about it, because although it is quite painful, you can ask for pain management, and I think also you can ultimately just have them knock you out for it. But unless there are complications, it is quite quick as well. They have to jack you open like a paint can lid. They do put the speculum in first, which is like a little duckbill thing that they crank open so that they can see right in all the way to the end. So they can see your little donut up here. So they can pinch onto it as well. You have to pay for it. The NHS covered it all. At least what I had done. I didn't have any, like I wasn't under general anesthesia or anything like that. But when I got there, I asked about pain management, and I had taken ibuprofen before I went. And when I did the last one that I did, which was just over 5 years ago, I was working at Planned Parenthood at the time. I did it on my lunch break, and when we did it, it was my favorite nurse who I was like very confident in her abilities. And the tenaculum that she used was not this type of tenaculum, but a different kind, which is like a flatter sort of edge to it, so it doesn't hurt as much. I think it was more like this one right here, which makes it a bit more difficult for them, or it was like this, maybe. So it's flat and not as pokey. And it does, like I said, make it a bit more difficult because that grip is not as good as just fucking poking into it. But hello, Azul. If you're ever in the horrible position of needing mastectomy, be sure to have a woman surgeon. My girlfriend at the time had a man do it, and while he was utilitarian in getting the tissues out, he did a poor job minimizing scar tissue. Yes. I think that can be a thing. I think most of the time, too. They didn't ask me or anything who I would prefer. But it was... I did have a female person for this. But yeah. These also used to be... Before they invented this one, they used to be the kind that they use... or that they used to use, or maybe still do, to remove bullets from people. I think this one, which those are actually like, that's for real spikes, and instead of just 2 of them, there are 4 of them, so that does seem a bit worse. But, so they do that first, they pinch onto this, which they'll say, you're going to feel a bit of cramping, which is supposed to be similar to period cramping, which period cramping can also just be pretty fucking bad. And so you get a lot of cramping from them holding on to your cervix, because they're holding on to it with a pincer, basically. And then that stays on, like I said, the whole time. And then what they do from there is I had to have my old one taken out so they could put the new one in. And the last time that I had that, it didn't really hurt for them to take it out. What they do is there are strings that hang down from this, which are not like tampon strings, it's more like fishing line. And those are like quite soft, and usually you can't even tell that they're there. And so they're holding on with the tenaculum. They hold on to these strings with like whatever tool they use for that. They have you take a deep breath in, and then they have you do a big fucking cough while they pull it out. And that didn't hurt too bad. But of course, your cervix is got a small hole at the top of it that normally is not big enough for anything to go inside of. And so they are having to pull this thing that is a bit larger than the hole that it goes into and comes out of. And so that was a bit painful still for them to pull it out. Then after that, while they're still pierced into here, they have to measure the uterus first, which is not shown here, but it's a similar tool to this, because they have to see that there's enough room inside of here for the IUD and things like that. And I think also how long of a string they can have. Why did you get it removed? The old one that I had was similar to this one, which is a Mirena, which is good for up to 8 years for what's it called? Preventing pregnancy. But after about 5 years, the hormones start to like sort of wane, which means that your period can go back to being like a bit worse again. Because I didn't have a period essentially for 5 years, and I was very cool with that. Love that for me. But then after hitting the 5-year mark, which was like last year, I started to sort of have a period again. Didn't like that. Thumbs down. So I wanted to get a new one to see, hopefully, that my period would go away again, because I'd rather not have one at all. So I had my old one taken out, and then a new one. And so I was going to get the same one again. That's good for up to 8 years. But I had to get a smaller one. Is this less of a nuclear weapon against your hormones than the pill? It can be sort of similar, because there is a hormonal one, which is what I got, and then there's a non-hormonal one, which is the copper one. And those are a bit different. I think those tend to make your periods like a bit worse, but not always. But with the hormonal one, you might not have a period at all. And I don't know in comparison to the pill, I think it can be slightly less, but also most of the time when someone is on the birth control pill, they're on a combined pill, which is estrogen and progesterone. And that, of course, is 2 hormones instead of just 1, which these are, I don't think there's any that have estrogen in them. They're just progesterone. So that's sort of how they work. I think, so they do tell you before you have this done that if you time this procedure with having your period, that typically when you're on your period, your cervix is a bit softer and also a bit more dilated, because of course you're shedding your uterine lining, which is then going to come out of your cervix and out through the vagina, and that's your period. And so if you go and have this done while you're on your period, it can theoretically make it a bit easier, because this is a bit softer, it's a bit more open, and so this won't be as bad. But you also don't have to go in when you're doing that. And so I did mine. They went to do the thing where they measure it, so they put something similar like this in, where it's got like a little measuring thing, and then they take that back out and they say, okay, there's this much room in there. And then they go, let's put the thing in now that we know how long there is inside of there. And they then the IUD is this shape, but before it's this shape, its arms are like, it's like diving, so its arms are in the air, and it's put into this little like applicator tube, and it's sort of like almost like a push pop situation, you know, where it's in a tube and then you push up from underneath to like place it in there. So they have to push this thing through the little hole. It doesn't like doing that, but they sure do it to then put it in. So when I was having mine done, I could tell there was stuff going on in there because there would be a lot of pain. And I'd go, that's quite painful. And my pain tolerance is pretty crazy high. And so when I start to sweat from the pain, it's pretty fucking bad. So I was like lying down. I'm like talking to the lady that is like my little like companion, and we were talking about Disney World and stuff. And I'm like lying there and I'm like, I feel myself start to sweat because I'm like, ooh, this is very painful. Because it was like very, very intense period cramps, but normally with period cramps, and same thing with like when you have your, when you start to go in labor, it like is in waves instead. But this was like, it's just constant while they're doing whatever fucking thing they're doing. And then it sort of subsides for a bit. And usually they're done after that. But for me, lucky me, even though she was putting the same one in that I had before, my little donut was not happy and was not letting it go in there. So she was trying to get the applicator to go through the cervix and it was not wanting to. So my cervix is being held onto, and she did numb it first, which was nice. So, she put spray numbing stuff on there and a gel numbing stuff on there. But I could still feel a decent amount of pain, so I don't know how much it worked. But it was still nice that she did it. And so, I could feel that it was, like, going on. And I was like, this is a bit longer than I remember of, like, time-wise. So, apparently, she was trying to push the applicator through. It didn't want to. And I think she tried, like, a couple of times. And then she opened another one, like a whole new one of these, to see if it would be, like, slightly even different. 'Cause sometimes there's, like, you know, even, like, a millimeter of difference in these being produced and stuff. Which... Also, I'm telling you all of the details of all of this shit, but I think it's like, this is important, and I think for people who are wondering about getting these, I still would say it was worth it in the end, but like, of course, things can go wrong and things can go differently. If bearing down would help the donut open up more? I don't know. She was like, ooh, you should untense yourself. Because of course, since I was in pain, I was tensed up. But I don't think that had anything to do with it besides just me relaxing more. So she tried to put the second one in, and I think that one sort of went in, but in a way where she was not happy with it, because if this doesn't sit up in here like this, and it's sort of in this constricted area, it's not supposed to be in there, and it will more likely reject than it will go this direction. And I've had one reject before when I had the copper one, like ages ago in my early 20s. And it just meant that it came out. And so she asked me if I wanted to come back another day and go to the gynecological specialist so that they had more tools and stuff to try to get this to go in. Or did I want to do the brand of one that is slightly smaller and is good for 5 years instead of for 8 years? And I was thinking, I've already been in a decent amount of pain. I don't really, knowing that the pain is like this, want to go home and then come back to do it another day. And with whatever other devices this specialist person will have. And I figure 5 years and 8 years, that's pretty close anyways. So I was like, yeah, if you're cool with trying the smaller one, sure. So she got one that's a bit smaller that's got a different name. And that one I think just sort of went right in, which was good. But it did also still involve, like, having to push the applicator all the way through and get the little guy in there. And then usually you're bleeding a decent amount from it because they've put something where it's not supposed to go and your body doesn't like it. And then also because they've been wrangling your cervix around with a pokey bit. Usually there's blood from that. And then after it was done, she's like, oh, you can sit up now and then get dressed when you're ready. So I sit up and I was like, I know what it's... I have never passed out, but I've gotten very close to passing out from, like, other situations. And so I sat up, and I could tell that I was very hot and, like, sweating from how painful it was. And I was like, My water bottle was a few steps away on the floor, and I thought, okay, I need to drink water, but I don't want to get up and get it. So I was like, oh, can you hand me my water? And she was like, yeah. And so I drank some water, and then I said, I feel a bit lightheaded, so I think I'll lay back down for a few minutes. She's like, oh yeah, that's good. Just lay down for a few minutes, and then see how you feel. So I just laid down, and of course the lights in there are all fucking bright as hell too, where, I was like, with how bright the lights are, I think that just made me feel worse anyways. So I laid down, and then I was like, okay, got my clothes back on, and I was alright. And I was a bit crampy the rest of the day, but I was fine. So that's what I did. And now I'm protected for up to 5 years. I asked about sterilization, but even though this lady was very nice and a younger doctor too, I think, she still hit me with the typical thing, which first of all, there's a waiting list for over a year to even get an appointment for the preliminary stuff. And then she said, doctors always say, they're always like, well, what if you change your mind? Like, it would be really unfortunate if you go through all of it and, like, you do that, and then after it's done and you're sterilized, and then you decide you want to have kids, and then you're upset. And I'm like, I'm almost 35 years old, and I have never ever wanted to have children, ever, in my entire life. So I don't think if I've thought that way for 35 years that I'm necessarily going to change my mind. And also, I don't think you're supposed to have kids after you're 35 anyways. And I just mostly just don't want a period anymore, and I don't want to have a little fucking guy hanging out in my uterus. So it is what it is. Look up birth control on the internet because they're either not allowed or too worried about mega religious parents. They don't teach enough about this stuff, which is why I'm completely okay with TMIing all of you. And because... why shouldn't I? After all, why shouldn't I? Who cares? They dug around in there, they did what they had to do, and also, like, I don't think any of this stuff should be taboo or weird. Periods, vaginas, cervixes, all of that shit. We get an early menopause with sterilization. I don't know. I think it's like, you might have to take, like, hormone replacement therapy and stuff, or if you have your uterus and your tubes and all of that shit removed. But because of course you're taking out basically a very big factory for hormones, you know? The little birth control thing you put in your arm, is that more painless? It can be. The way that is done is you lie down on your back with your arm under your head, typically, and then they do an injection of lidocaine into that area to numb the area, which that numbs it very, very well. And then they make a small incision with a scalpel, and then they have a device which looks like an ear piercer from Claire's, that they then use to, in the incision that they made, they put it in there like a little stapler, and that's how the device is inserted. I hated that a lot. I hated seeing it. It grossed me out very much. If you're squeamish, this is just a drawing diagram, but it still is showing what they do, and I'm grossed out by it. This image is really shit, but... And it made me download it. Now I own this picture. It's not that bad, but it will show you what it is. It's just gross. Also, me describing it will kind of be gross. I think it's grosser than the fucking vagina one. If you get a similar... if you ask for a vasectomy without having kids, they just will be like, yeah, you can have one. So this is not too bad, but basically you have your little bicep arm. They give you a numbing shot of lidocaine, and they do a small incision, and then they have this little like stapler device, which has a hollow point needle on it that has the Nexplanon device in it. And they insert that into the incision that they've made right under a specific layer of the skin. And then they have to, I believe it's called tent the area or something like that. So they insert it at 30 degrees and then they slide it in under there. And then usually they have to lift up on the skin a bit. And then it's inserted with this like little push button. And I didn't like assisting for those, mostly because I don't like the needle that they use for doing the lidocaine. And I didn't like... there's like a noise that it makes too, but it's just like a staple. So I didn't like that, because I am a baby. But this is how large the device is and what it looks like. Typically, what they do is you don't need stitches to seal it back up after they're done. They just put some like suture tape on it. And after that, they're done. It's like a matchstick, yeah. And it's flexible too, so it's not like it's like hard or anything. It's like, what would I describe it as? It's like a flexible little plastic sort of thing. No vomiting. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I hate this stuff. But as much as I hate it, I still went in the room to help out for these. But I think this is a good alternative for people. And this one is progesterone only and is more similar to the Depo-Provera injection, minus the like bone density stuff. So if you lose your arm in a sword fight, you can get pregnant again. I know. Or if you get bit by a zombie on this arm and they have to cut it off above this. My friend had one of these. She really loved it. She had it. I think they're good for up to 5 years, though. Continuous research is always being done on these different long-term birth control methods. So sometimes you'll have one of these and then they'll be like, it's good for 5 years. And then if studies have been done and released that have increased the amount of time, because of course what they do is they're monitoring to see what the hormone levels are of people taking them. In studies, they'll be like, oh, actually, now it's good for this long. So, like, the copper IUD used to, I think a long time ago, they said it was good for 8 years. Then it went to 10 years. And I think now, typically, they say 12 years for that. And I think these are, they used to be maybe 3 years or something like that. And now they're, I think, 5 years. But don't quote me on that, because it's been a while since I worked at the clinic, so I don't remember everything. Yeah, this is another option. And then what's one of the other ones? I think it's just those two that are like the real big long-term ones. Pills ones, those aren't too bad. I was on the pill for like years, and I did just fine on it. I was on a combined one of estrogen and progesterone, which is less strict than progesterone only, because those you have to take exactly at the same time every day. And you cannot have more than like a margin of error of an hour or so with those, versus the combined ones. If you miss a day, you take 2 the next day and you're still okay. But you should always take them every day and on time. I'd be a Nurse Boba, cool Pokemon character. I don't think... Well, maybe they do have birth control in the Pokemon world. The Pokemon world. Sorry if I grossed you out. It's good to know all of this stuff, though. Whether you own a vagina or not, it's good to know your options. And then also, if you don't own a vagina, it's good to know what the people who have vaginas are going through in order to prevent pregnancy and things like that. Interested in renting. I was thinking, I was like, I wish that I could get sterilized and have them remove all of the stuff in there. Like my uterus and my tubes and my ovaries and stuff. Because I think there was recently, in the last few years, a successful uterine transplant in which someone received the uterus of someone that was a healthy uterus, and then I think that was successful. I don't know if they were successful in being pregnant or not, but if I could have mine taken out and given to someone who would use it, I'd do that. You can have it. So I think my eggs are riddled with autism and ADHD. So I don't know if that... They might have to get eggs from someone else who's not all funky. But maybe they just would want these ones still. If I visit the UK, will you give me a tattoo of a giant Mr. Peanut destroying New York City? I would have to acquire a tattoo machine. So I guess. Spicy eggs, it's true. You can take your uterus home when they take it out of you. I don't think I'd want it. Because it doesn't... Uteruses don't even look like that little picture they made. That picture that is on everything, they don't look like that. They look like a blobfish in there. They're all like... It's just like an organ. It's not like that thing that they've drawn where you're like, oh, it's that little shape with the like a little ram's head or something. They're all fucking dumb looking. It just looks like a blob. It's not even cool. And your tubes are not even like T-posing in your body. They're just like... I wonder if they have a picture of a diagram that is like a realistic uterus diagram. Because it's not just like that in there. It's like shaped quite different. I don't think they even have one. And I think it's like more, like almost like horizontal in there than it is vertical to make this like T shape. Access of vagina. Access of cervix. I think it's more like a little ball in there, basically. About the size of your hand? Oh my goodness, don't say Scottish takeaway. Think you have to be registered to give tattoos over here? That's if I was in a shop, I suppose. I sent a realistic picture. This is... I don't know what this is. That's Mr. Peanut as Cronus devouring his son, you fucking wanker. It could be. I don't think... Well, no. Well, no. This one? They're not gonna have one, because they're like, you do not need to know how this looks. I guess this is like it. This is not gross. So I will show this to you. So instead of being like that cute little thing they show you, it actually looks like this. Also, this is kind of funny, the way that they're like, alright, here's your pisser. Here's your shitter. And there's that other one that y'all so crazy about. They got all of them. But it's more like this little funky little shape. Any of these little funky shapes. So you've got your uterus in here, and then your cervix, and then the vagina. There you go. It's shrimpin'? It could be shrimpin'. What's this? I have to type it in. i.guardian -bs, which makes it -bs.fun, makes all of this seem like it's not going to be. F6 ICAJ4Z. This is so funny. This is like, this is the same exact picture as when they show, the differences between otters, which is a sea otter versus an Amazonian river otter. Let me see if I can find that meme. Otter meme. Sea otter. Amazon otter. Okay, there's a lot of cute otters right now. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll make the meme myself. Okay. And I'll find specifically, I know the exact picture that they used. Okay, I'm making the meme. Give me a second. Okay, we take that one, and then we take this guy. You'll see it in a minute, because the reveal will be important. That's the thing. Oh my god. Paint is such a horrible program. I need to get, something else on this one. This computer. Okay. Pearl? Okay, this is accurate. This is what people think otters are. What otters actually are. Like this. And I will show you. Where'd this guy go? 'Cause he's crazy. This is a giant river otter. This guy is way different than that other guy. And he just crunch, dude. And then you've got this guy. Oh no, not that guy. This guy. Yippee, yippee, yippee. And this guy. This guy versus this guy is this image. What happened to Sim Sundays? I've got to find more sim games that don't have AI in them, which is close to impossible. And then also, it is difficult to find time to record them as well. But they might pick back up, but it will require me finding some more sim games that somehow do not have AI in them. And then that requires me to also look at the game itself, because they don't always declare AI in the Steam summary, even though they are supposed to. And I think actually it is against the rules for them to not declare AI if they do use AI, but that does not stop them. So Rat Kitchen game uses AI. I know. And see, it did not say in the Steam summary that it used AI. So then I trusted that, and that was my mistake because they lied. And they might have added it retroactively or something. The VHS store game looked good but unsure on AI usage. Well, typically in the Steam store, when you look at them, they have like an AI declaration thing. Let me see something real quick. I'll show you. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna show you. I'll show you two different ones. So I knew there was one that I had that does have it in there, and I was like, "Are you serious right now?" I think they did declare it too. Okay, so this is the Steam store page for Sunset Motel, which looked fun because it's like House Flipper basically, but a motel. And then if you go down here to the bottom of the page on Steam, this is where they're supposed to do this. AI generated content disclosure. And then they say how they use it. So they're like, generative AI during dev. Game does not use live content or code. Used to assist in crafting unique pre-rendered assets such as artwork and animation. And then if you go to the rat one, and you go to the bottom here, they do not have an AI declaration. So let me see the retro rewind. But yeah, that's what makes it difficult to do the Sims Sunday stuff, because I'll have to like download a demo of the game and then look at shit myself. And also, like, I don't always know if something is AI or not. And I think I unfortunately, if they haven't declared it, give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes. And I'll be like, oh, I guess they must have made that. Is there any place to report them? Maybe. Okay, let's see this one. They don't have an AI declaration, so that's pretty good. And then their player models look pretty good. So I would think the only thing with these could be like a lot of the times where they end up using AI is like for the graphics and stuff. And then that's like, you have to look at them yourself and be like, does this look like AI? And that's really annoying. But that one recently, the water park one, that one, they specifically did not use AI in it. A lot of the sim asset flips use AI. Yeah, they do it for like their, this thing, like, you can tell because they use a lot of the same style. Apparently, even... Yo, guys! Good news! Oh my Christ, that scared the shit out of me. Apparently this, they used AI to like generate these things. They're like, their logos. Hey, guys, that scared me. Contractville even had some, and I don't know if they had any declaration. They do. AI generated images are used for game cover of the store page and some in-game textures. So the other thing is sometimes they'll say, we used it to make the game cover, but then also you go in the game, and they've said they've used it for the textures too. But like in the game, when you're in there, there's like artwork on the walls and stuff. And I guess that counts as textures. And the thing with the other one that I was showing you, this one, the motel one, which I bought and everything. And I think, I don't know if I put enough time into it to refund it, or if I didn't look at it again until like a few weeks later when you're not allowed to or something. But like, one of the things I noticed about when I was in the game and I was testing it out was a lot of the like furniture models looked quite different from each other, because I think that they've used AI to generate the models. Or I guess they could have also like, there's a lot of websites that have these models that you can buy or download for free to use in your games. But yeah, they use it a lot for the like logo, and they use it a lot for the like in-game art and posters and shit. Need to play Super Battle Golf, but I'm on my high horse about that one for like the dumbest reason. Because it looks like a fun game, but I'm annoying, and I'm pissed off that it does look like they just ripped Peak for a lot of the stuff. And I know that happens, but I think specifically with this one, with like the faces and the bodies, I really don't like that they did that. Like this one, oh, I'm not showing you. Like this one specifically. And you can see in a lot of the way they did the player models, it was like they were like, wow, Peak is really popular, we should do that. And that makes me mad. And I'm annoying. And I should just not care about it. But like, for me, I think I really don't like when people copy stuff or take a lot of heavy inspiration from it, where it is like almost like they barely changed anything. Haven't played Peak, didn't know it was a thing. If you look at it, so those are those. I can show you. Hold on. And I'm just annoying like that. Because I've also like caught someone on social media that was tracing my friend's artwork, and like in a way where I could tell that they were, and then I layered it over there, and the person that is doing it has like a decent amount of followers, but my friend is nice and doesn't want to say anything. But that shit pissed me off, and so I think I just am annoying and get real pissed off about this stuff. Where'd the music go? It's just really low. But if you look at I think even like some of the proportions of the characters and the color palette for the characters. The developer is Brimstone, which the other thing that they made is Overthrown, which has mostly negative reviews and released March 18th. And it's got mixed reviews of 226 of them, with 26 mostly negative. And then they made Super Battle Golf, which they released February 19th. And also because I saw their Twitter about this game, or not their Twitter, their TikTok. The game got recommended to me on TikTok, and when I saw it, I was like, that really looks like Peak, like a lot, in a way where I don't like that. And so I went to their TikTok, and up until recently, and this is no shade to them at all, and if they were to be like, we watched your stream and you're a fucking asshole, it's just my opinion, but up until recently, they were advertising their other game a lot, as if like this was the one that they were really, really working on, and like promoing and saying how they were going to release it and how good it was. And so it was like, I got the impression in a way that they were developing this game and then they were like, fuck it, let's just copy Peak. And so then I think, and this is in no way actually true or anything like that, but that makes me wonder if they released this to just release it because they made Super Battle Golf, and I don't know if they paid for an advertisement for it or something, but like it was like all of their TikToks for Overthrown didn't have a lot of views on them in comparison to their first, I think their first one about this game, which was then suddenly like 1 million or something. But it was like they completely abandoned that other game and then released this one, which is like, to me, two entirely similar art direction wise, in a way where I morally, in a very annoying, stupid way, don't want to support that. Because yeah, I haven't even bought it yet. But the way that the player models look, and I don't think much of the other stuff necessarily looks like it's from it, but it just makes me like give them the side eye a bit. And so I just don't like that. Because also, like, these colors are like almost direct rips of the player colors for the Peak models. Like, actually, I feel like you could color pick them and they would be the same color. Like, I really think so. It does look fun, though. And I know a lot of people have had fun playing it, and a lot of people have purchased it, because obviously it has a ton of reviews and stuff. But I just don't really like the quick turnaround of having been working on this other game a lot, and then suddenly Peak came out, and then suddenly they've made a game that has the same color palette for the player models and has almost the same like expressions and almost the same character model proportions on them. So that just be pissing me off. You think it's alike? Well, I think like some of the like other objects in the game are kind of similar, sure, like the trees and stuff, but I don't know how else you render those sort of differently. But I think especially the fact that, like, this red, blue, and green, and purple, and pink, those are, like, the same exact fucking color. I do think also, like, a lot of the friend swap stuff is, like, obviously, you get a game that goes viral and gets super, super popular. And so, of course, people are going to want to make a similar game. But I think, like, there's a way to make a game that doesn't make it this, like, that doesn't piss me off like this. Like Phasma and all the games that followed. Yeah. Repo devs posted a Peak Repo crossover trailer. No, I didn't see that. Inspiration isn't the same as copying. Yeah. So, like, one thing I noticed doing the Yogscast Games meetings was that there was a lot of games where they'd be like, it's a Slay the Spire like, it's a Vampire Survivor like, and then those games are extremely similar to the game, and you have to sort of go, okay, is it inspiration or is it too much copying? But I think specifically, like, let me see something real quick. I'm gonna be so annoying. I have somewhere because I was making the hats for Peak. I have a file that has the colors, like the color palette of the hats from Peak. So I can color pick in a very annoying way. Where are they at? Trying to see. Trying to be so annoying. My network connected. Enter the network credentials. What are you talking about? Okay, my PCs, I guess, are not sharing their files right now. Where did I have them saved? Got like a bajillion things for Blender, and also I think a lot of it actually is on this computer. But anyways, all that to say that and since I haven't done the hats in so long, I don't remember where the folder is. There is a lot of like similar colors and everything, to the point where it's like they could be color picked. And so that's the end of my rant on my soapbox or whatever. What time is it? Okay. Let me open House Flipper so I can play that. I've got House Flipper 2. And I've played some of the like single player story. And I was having fun with that. So I think I will play that. Though I do have to go pee first. Look pretty today, thank you. My makeup did not want to work today, but it is what it is. I would accept a Sims clone. That's true, because Ubisoft is... Is it Ubisoft? Or no, is it Esports? EA, that's the one. Same difference. Yeah, they're the same guy. Walking my dog, shortened her leash, and then the person started talking to my dog. Oh my goodness. People just sort of like, do whatever when they see you walking a dog. And they want to just be involved and touch the dog. Alright, I have to go pee real quick. This is what House Flipper looks like. Also, of course, the GoXLR fucking girl. Since the GoXLR program detected that the GoXLR was unplugged, which it was not. It's just dumb as hell. I had to turn it back on. Okay, BRB. And then I'll smash a house or whatever happens. Good night, Hannah. BRB. Get me the wine. The wine. Ooh, you say the wet the mouth move on that guy. The wine. Creepy. Am I gonna get a 2-bed terrace house and design my house in its vampire look in the game? I was doing it in Sims before. Cause I'm like, I want to know where I want to think about where I'm gonna put all the furniture and stuff. But I don't think I'll do that in this game. It's one of the bedrooms for the chickens. It might be. Chicken room. Let me see something quickly. Like a miniature Brian up there. Winter streaming studio. I think the heating is pretty good in throughout all of the building and the outbuilding. I think. I turned the music off because it is true that it is like ridiculously loopy. I was just gonna do lol. I was just gonna do the like single player shit because I think it's kind of funny. Because it's like there's like little missions and stuff. And some of them are pretty fun. I don't know. Okay, my house is still a mess and I haven't done anything with it yet. So this is not, it was like this when I got here. Nice to be told what to do and turn off brain. That can be nice too. Let me put on the video game music. Not this video game though. Some video game. The budgie wall. It's nice, but I think it's better as an accent wall than having budgie and then zebra. How do I do stuff again? Here it is. So these are the things I've unlocked. I can clean the window. I like doing that. This window's bad. Look at that. There's gonna be, look, let's see. We've got perks. Do I have any points for this? No. But these are the ones that I have. And then my emails are, I can either help this person who's selling their house, which says that I'm selling my house and I was told that it has to be cleaned first, even the basement. If you find any boxes, just leave them there. I think I started this one, and then actually what happened was that, something like glitched out. Unlock all tools to... I think that's DLC. So I just have to go here and clean this person's house. The missions in the first game were good, but when it came time to actually decorating, you stopped. I do enjoy... vacuuming for beginners. Okay. Oh, I've picked up the table. Unlocked vacuuming. Is that just somebody... You hear that, right? That's just someone making a vacuuming noise, right? Right? Which, I mean, I kind of respect that, though, instead of being shitty. What's this thing? Sell stuff? What do you want me to sell? 2 tables and 5 chairs. There's 2, listen. Something interesting is happening. That sounds normal. That noise of completing something was also... I'm inside the house now? That's a... Is that from April Fools? And my foot... Okay, that's kind of fun. Okay, that's pretty funny. Because I was pretty sure that when because I'd played some of this offline before and was having fun of it. Fun of it? Fun with it. I was pretty sure that there was not... That's definitely... I was pretty sure it was not making those noises. Okay. Wait, why is my trash bag's a magic hat? I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be either. I think we're selling these. Yeah, 2 chairs. And then the sign. Was it piss? It might have been. Is there stuff back here? No. We've done all the outside stuff. Should I be nice? Maybe not. Okay, I've been nice. Funnier than it has any right to be. It's pretty good, isn't it? Also, the fact that they'd done it in the first place. Sell some of these things. Okay. That's specifically in this little area. Okay. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. I don't have to organize this, but I'm nice and I'm organizing it a little bit. Is there anything dirty in this area? Okay. Also, this game's been out for a while, so it's kind of funny that they put an April Fool's thing in it. Do you hear all of that? What do we sell? Oh, we sell a lot of stuff. Posters, I think. That. All of these things. It's everything, I guess. Let me see. Make it louder for me too, because it is pretty funny. What do you got? Oh, we need to vacuum this. Is that... No, this is this. Okay, I've got a garbage bag now. I should have done the smart thing and moved the garbage. Because that's what I do. Alright, we take this with us. Are the sound effects all voice? I guess for today they are. I'll just put it right outside the door, and then it makes it easier for me. They should leave it this way, or maybe there will be an option. Footprint. This room's a disaster. Guess I'm just gonna sell a bunch of this stuff. All of it. Sometimes with these missions, they have you, like, get rid of everything. And then you, come back later. And they're like, oh, you did such a good job cleaning up. Would you like to also decorate my entire house? I made it too loud for me. Then you go, okay, I suppose I can do that. Alright, what we got? Trash and stains and windows and 374 beans on the floor to vacuum. You ready? I don't want to miss a single bean on the floor. Or someone will come in and be angry with me. Can you imagine you leave a single bean on the floor after you've been paid to clean up? I think that would be bad. Of all things, they would definitely notice that, don't you think? Oh, this gross floor. Maybe they're magic beans? Could be possible. But if they were magic beans... If the guy, Jack, if you will, from Jack and the Beanstalk... Also, I've just had an idea of someone making an alternate Jack and the Beanstalk that's just called Jacking the Beanstalk. Eh? If the guy, Jack, from Jack and the Beanstalk, if he'd eaten the beans instead of planting them, would they have grown inside of him? I know normal seeds don't work that way, or beans, but these are magic beans that did then turn into a giant beanstalk, which then led to the realm of giants in the clouds. Polly, why don't you want to hear about my Jack and the Beanstalk theory? What's so wrong with what I'm saying? This place looks bad. What? Bjorn, thank you for the bits. And thank you for the bits earlier. And Jetin, I think I missed that. 22 months. And Doom. I think I missed saying thank you to Doom because I was yapping. Thank you for the 77 months. I was saying jacking the beanstalk. Hey, hey. Why can't I say that? You like the bald guy? He says stuff like that. That's practically a bald guy joke. So it's okay if a bald guy does it. But not me, huh? I think we're gonna have to sell a lot of stuff in this room. Yeah. I could finish the job and leave them with a ton of chips on the floor. But I'll be nice and I will vacuum up the chips. And now I have to pick this stuff up. And I have to scrub the floor, wash the floor. I have head floof now. It's true, my hair grew back really fast. So I shouldn't be allowed to make jokes anymore. More trash in this bag. So what am I missing from here? It's not quite 3 stars yet. It says in and then to the basement. Okay. No lights, no tables, no beans. Okay, out the back door we go. To the basement. And we're gonna sell a lot of this stuff, I hope. Yes. This looks like someone has had explosive diarrhea on the wall. There's a crib down here at the coffee place. Interesting. I had music on, but I want to hear all of this. When you play Tarkov and become as depressed as the rest of us, you can talk about jacking beanstalks. But I play a MOBA now. Does that count? Can I show you how I bullied someone? I had a game where I got MVP and I did a bunch of video game murder to other players in the game. And then I also specifically, accidentally, because they were coming after me, bullied this person. I recorded a recording, so just ignore that. So I kill this guy. And then I fast forward. And as you can see, I'm trying to kill another guy. And then this guy here, he starts doing his little teleport thing, and I know he's doing it, but I've killed him by now like 3 times or something. And so I'm like, oh my god, this guy's gonna come bother me while I'm flying in the sky. So I shoot him before he starts his teleport. And then he comes up here, and I hear his little feet hit the ground, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna be annoying, isn't he? And then I'm like, let me retreat a little bit. And then I go, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna retreat. And then I go over. He tries to punch me and I counter him. Which means now that I've parried him, I can punch him and shoot him for free. Because he's been caught by surprise is how it works. So he done fucked up. Oopsies. So now I punch him in the back of the head, which was not necessary, because I could have shot him. And then I did shoot him, and then I used my ult for just the last bit, because I just wanted to get rid of this guy. But I did pretty good in this game, and I got MVP for the first time. Hopefully not the last time. Now play the Rap God cover over it. True! This character kills me a lot, so deserved. Pocket, yeah, they're a fucker. Looks like you're some anime character murdering Harry Potter who's got a gun. I guess a lot of that is an accurate sort of, dissertation. This is the entire game that I recorded, because even though you can download the thing to watch it, but you can see at the bottom, these are all the times that I killed somebody. I think there's like... I think I got 14 kills by the end. And then I had 3 deaths, I think, and 20 assists. Video gaming, that's deadlock. Will I play Counter-Strike? I don't know, because people in that are very mean. And people in this one are pretty mean too. But so far, it's quite easy to mute them. And also, if they get mad at me, I don't really care. But I don't know if I would care in Counter-Strike. It's like it's a MOBA and also a third-person shooter. Of course, as you could see. But I have fun with it. I've been having a lot of fun. I put I've got over 130 hours in the game now, and I think most of that's been in the last few weeks. I get silly people more often in Deadlock than mean people. Yeah. I still have heard a decent amount of unfortunately, or typed out from other people. There are slurs and stuff. But you can report people, and hopefully the reports do something. That's my gripe about the game, though, is that I wish that, like Marvel Rivals, when you reported someone, that there was like some sort of feedback as to whether or not they agreed with your report of the person and then took any action on it. But unfortunately, the game is played by some sweaty people who have come from MOBAs and shooting games. And so they unfortunately have a, at times, shit vocabulary. But also, what does this mean? One. I'm missing something. It does mean, though, a lot of the times when they do that, that they're just shit at what they're doing. And so then I think, well, maybe if you weren't so bad at what you were doing, you would have a better time. So don't be bad at the game. It's annoying. How do you report people? You can do it either during the game by pressing escape, and then on the right hand side there's a list of everyone in the game, and you can mute them there too. But you can click on them and then click report. Or after that, after the game is over, if you go to the scoreboard or the one that shows each team with their rectangles, there's an arrow next to their name with a drop down that you can report them there, or on the scoreboard. I think you can click on them or right click on them and then report them. Deadlock, yeah. Drinks are required. I'm drinking. Thanks, Polly. Have a good night. My hair blue now? It is. It was supposed to be purple. But when I used hair dye that is purple, it's extremely purple, the hair dye that I used. My hair likes to say, no thank you. There is some blue in that, though, and I will take all of that. And that is unfortunately what happens to me. Because I wanted it to be purple so that I could get it to be lavender. But it did not do it. What am I missing? There's gonna be like... The one problem I have had with this game is that there will be like the tiniest speck of dirt somewhere that for some reason I can't see, so then I can't clean it. Saying I've got all the trash, all the stains, everything in here. What about in this little room? 3 out of 3. Why is it only this many star? Looks good, thank you. But this has happened to me a lot. Give me one sec. I heard something, but it was nothing. Wasn't my hair purple when I was growing it back in? It was. It was like dark purplish gray. But it didn't fade the way that I wanted it to. And so then I've messed around with it more, and now it's gone quite blue. Living room has a bathroom. Is that it? Does it? I missed the room? There has been times when I've been playing this game, though, that it's been, oh, this door. There's, like, just one little crumb of dirt somewhere. What do they want? They want me to sell everything in here. Pretty much everything. Is that all of it? Is it dark? Oh, I was like, it's dark out! Okay, that's it. We've done everything. Mix some red dye in. I was thinking about that. Okay, we're doing it. We got money for that. Also tonight at some point, I think, depending on how tired I am, the Goo Crew is doing like a ton of Scamline, which is a friend slop game. And that starts, I think, at 11 p.m. GMT, which I've played games with them around 11 in the past. We'll see. Ooh, they love what I did with the place. That's what I might be doing after the stream. What have we got? Adding a cafe to my bookshop. Is that our next thing? I guess it is. I run a small bookshop. My girlfriend is a barista and we would like to make space for her coffee shop business. Ooh! Yes, I want to do that. I want to help with that. What's this? Oh, this is for my own house. That looked weird for a second. I didn't know what it was. We're on BST now? That's the one then. I did like when my hair was the light blue and black, and also the orange and black. That was nice. And also when it was just all orange, I liked that too. We'll do this one. Yeah. Look at that cute old lady. She's having a nice time. Okay, I'm going to guess that we get rid of all of this stuff. I threw... Oh, those are weeds, so I guess it's okay. Even the sand makes different noise. How funny is that? Scamline will be on YouTube or Twitch. It'll probably just be on their channels, I think. Because it's at 11 p.m., which is late times. I hope I don't get in trouble because I just sold the weeds. When my hair is orange, you're required to wear plaid all the time for lesbian vibes. Also true. What is this? Moving boxes. Unpack the box and get rid of the frog and crayfish bookshop sign, but it's cute. Open. Oh, they got a new one. Oh, look at that. Bookshop Cafe. Hello, Andy. Anything else out here? No. Can move this closer. The secret tip and trick of what to do. look, it's nice. I had to sneeze. Okay, so we need to sell some things. This, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And this, and the fish. Oh my gosh. Deadlock's got a, April Fool's thing going on right now. Where there can be multiple of characters on the team, which normally you don't have that. But I think it also means that there's some, like, nightmare teams that people are going against that are, like, 6 of one overpowered character or whatever. But I think that's still funny, and it's only for a day, so... YOLO, right? 6 Celeste, exactly. Look at this, painting for beginners. I want to paint. Read. Buy some paint, put it on the roller. Set the painting area. I hope I remember that. I guess I can read it again. Anything. Selling anything else here? Easier than a cake mix. What does that mean? What's in here now? Coffee machine. And coffee. And coffee. And cup. And another cup. And another cup. And another cup. Another cup. A cup. A cup. A cup. Okay, I guess they've got a coffee machine here already. So I guess we put this one next to this one. Oh my god. What? Is that... That's equal, right? Can I pick up the green one? I can. It just doesn't look equal, right? Also, if I was gonna be really annoying, I would do that in the proper way, which is first in, first out. Because you don't want the newest bags of coffee. I guess I put them down here. Actually, that makes more sense. You don't want the newest ones at the front. Hello, Binquisitor. Okay, let's put all our coffee mugs. So... they certainly have a lot of different ones, don't they? It'll probably be good to just line them up under here because, realistically, I was going to reach under the counter. Which also, I don't understand what these... I guess they're just decoration, or they're the hinges holding the shelves on. It does look like there's just 2 little dangly knobs under there for some reason. Hello, Disco. The video game. Wants me to buy stuff out here. We're gonna put that there, and we're gonna put this here, and we're gonna pick this book up and put it in here. So we can scrub the floor. Clean the floor. And this one too. Then we gotta suck up all this stuff. Is there any more dirt? Dirt? I think he just wants us to buy stuff now. We go in here. Put the painting book on the table. Now, what the hell is on this table? And the windows are very dirty. I guess they were painting, maybe? And we'll put that back. So they've got... The style of this place is quite, like... eclectic, right? Because everything out in the book area is very, like, colorful. And it looks like it's for children. Because look, the walls... This doesn't look so much, but like... I guess maps are not specifically for children. But... whatever. Okay, it wants us to buy... a big table... an armchair, a bunch of small chairs. So... we can customize stuff. This has got like a dark top and like a... beachy underneath. So we've got that. That's this part. Maybe that, and then... How do I do the top part again? Here, the top is like a... European walnut. Dark wenge. How's this look? Guess it looks fine. I might just buy the furniture and then see how everything looks. Maybe the yellow. Let's see, actually. I think yellow wood is better than this one. So I am going to be annoying and to make it actually nice. Because otherwise, what am I even doing? Yellow wood, and then... was it maybe American walnut? Sure. Close enough. And then let's get this little ottoman chair. With... ooh, what kind of seat? We could have it fluffy. Fluffy. Vintage suede. Maybe suede. With... a pattern. Ooh, Minky. They've got sort of like a beach situation going on. 90s bus seat. We cannot do 90s bus seat in this nice. That could be nice, but the pattern looks too large. Because I can't even see I can see not even a single orange on there. I don't think I can do anything about that. What about this? Can't see a dang lemon on there. Children's pattern and it has bears on it. We just put fish on it? An alligator's ass? It should let me zoom out on it. How does this one compare to the first half flipper? It's basically the same, right? It feels basically the same to the point of they didn't super need to make another one. You know? I don't want those fish, because they don't quite have the vibe that I'm looking for. This one could be good. like this. Maybe orange. Darker orange. And this one. Yes. That's good, I think. Okay, we're cooking. That one's good. Okay, we need one of these. Which we could make it... What's this doing? Pure pattern. We can make it a solid color. Maybe we have one solid color. A nice yellow couch. Yeah. Then we need these guys. So let's give them the yellow wood base. The top could actually be glossy painted wood, but... Oh, is that... Not glossy. Not glossy. And the details? Rose gold. Now, how many of these does it want? I feel like it wanted 2. I think it wants 1. It wants 2. I don't know if I can copy this one. And I don't know how to make the last one that I just made. But maybe I remember well enough. Yellow wood, painted wood in this pink color. And then the details were rose gold. Good. Music is going off with it. From Wild Frost. That's not what it's called, but... It's called Wild Frost, but it's not called going off with it. Okay, the seat... I don't want this knit stuff. The suede, and then... Oh, that looks kind of cool. How much of a creature can we fit on this one? See, that should be zoomed out more or something. Minky? Minky chair, kinda good. Ooh, maybe that one. Okay, this is not bad. But why does it give me only drab orange? What is this even changing? Changes nothing, which makes me not like it as much. If I did music, I would have Boba give titles. Don't do that. I'm a dummy. That just looks like underwear. Clouds? That just makes it look like the chair has a stain on it. That one's not too... Well, it does look like a... Someone spilled their Pepto-Bismol on the chair. Stars? No, also looks like underwear. Eyes? No! Celestial pattern? No. It's good, but... I like cow print. And then we have the spots of the cow. The orange. And then they're on... This doesn't look... We have to make it not look like a stain. So yellow is not going to work. Pink, and then... Where's light pink? Blood chair. Blood chair. Hello, Lapromancer. Pink. And then this one. Pink. Oh, that's cute. Yeah. Now, how many? I think we need... I don't know how many of these we need. Was it 4, I think? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. And now we need to arrange this. We need to arrange it. How about... How's this gonna work? Coffee table. Coffee table. Chair. Chair, 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 chair. Chair. I guess they can just move them if they don't like them, right? Where they are. They're just asking me to decorate, not necessarily... Oh, not that one. There we go. There it is. Super glue them down. I don't think they would pay me if I did that. I think they would be like, hey, we asked you to remodel so that we could open our coffee shop, and instead you did just actually glue everything to the floor, and we really don't know why the fuck you did that. This is a sort of inconvenient place for this book thing to be. But it's sort of a good idea because then if someone is come in to get coffee, they go, "Oh, wow. I can't wait to read Frogs, Crayfish and Beavers, Oh My, The Legends of Pinna Cove by Pierre S. Volpino." What about this? We put that under here, maybe. And this one, too. Okay. Maybe we put this... I don't know. Because this is counter space where people need to pick up their stuff. I guess it's not too bad. It's just crowded, but I think it's just gonna be crowded anyways. Fine. It doesn't matter. Upstairs? Oh my god, I gotta do this too? Staff only. And this? They're gay! They're gay, they're gay, they're gay! Yippee! 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 They love vases and whales and coffee mugs. Call me back. Have a great day. Oh my gosh, and we're selling this bed and buying them a larger one. Okay, we have to make them a good gay bed. That doesn't mean rainbow, though. Wait, what's it look like in here? I didn't look. What if I'm harshing their vibe currently? Okay, you need like a regular pillow color. And then they've got the duvet. The mattress can be... We'll do it off of this thing. Because we want it to be... Ew, can you imagine having a fucking burlap duvet? That would be actual hell. We put cats on it. Now, why is the pattern so fucking large and facing the wrong direction? Oh, I'm getting pissed off. I don't think I can even do anything about this. Rather sleep with jeans? You're not wrong. Is this just what color the butterflies are? Just that? Oh no, you can pick. Ew. Okay. We're getting somewhere now. Flowers. Why does it look just gross color? It looks unpleasant. Pigween? No. Is it the material it is? Suede looks like the best for the color. I guess this is fine. I am actually rather irritated with the fact that the fact that you cannot, at least it doesn't seem like you can move the patterns of the material and stuff. Getting pissed off the same way I do about the zoo game. Yeah. Yeah, I am. Because that's some bullshit, what I was just dealing with. I can sleep in their bed. I can warm it up for them. Why can't I sleep? As a treat? I think because you're supposed to, like, go in your house and sleep, maybe? And so I guess it just works for any bed for some reason. Doesn't want me to buy a lot of stuff. Okay. Actually, are they telling me what color they want and I've just been not doing that? Uh-oh. I'm sure it doesn't... They're not gonna... I do know better than them, it's true. I'll at least give them the bed that they've asked for. Plus, the stuff they were asking for was not great, even. And this place up here, kinda shit, honestly. If people are meant to come up here and read. And then they've got the, like, their bedroom. Wonder if I could have put that in this small pot. I'm going to guess that that's a no. It also would have made it much easier. Oh, why? Ew, that looks bad too. This looks like a candle that still got the foreskin. Why? And you can't tell me it doesn't look like that. Okay, we got anything else? Another one of these, they say. We want more than one of those. Okay. They want anything else in here? No, everything done in this room. I bought everything down here. Oh, this says sell. I was like, I did not buy that fish. Paint the wall. This one. Wait, how do you... Oh, like this. Oh, I just get to do it. This is... You know what I discovered the other day was that me and DBJ were playing Slay the Spire, and he was drawing on, or they were drawing on the map, and their drawing was like extremely like it looked like a seismograph, like an earthquake would do on a graph. And I said to them, wait a second. Is your DPI on your mouse really high? And they said, what's DPI? And I said, it's how fast your mouse is moving. And they're like, how do I know? And I was like, there should be a button on your mouse that makes how fast the mouse go. So they changed it, and it was no longer going extremely fast, which is what it was set to. It was set to like 3,000 miles per hour. And so they set it lower, and they're like, wow, this feels really slow. And I said, turn it back up to what you had it at, and then paint on the map. And so they did that, and they could cover the map in literally like 2 seconds. And I was like, no wonder you went to draw, and it just was like crazy style. Nothing in here, right? Ah. This place? Ah! Nothing in here. Nothing in here. Is there a basement? The bathroom up here, maybe? No. Is it mad at me because I did the wrong... Oh, maybe out back. Keep my DPI at 2400, which doesn't help my deadlock aim. See, I think my... No, that's not it. I think my DPI is probably too high for that as well. And also the fact that I don't use my whole arm to aim. I just mostly move my wrist, and that's probably not good. Oh, it says out here still. Buy. Oh, this is what it wants. Some tables out here. How many of that does it want? 2 more of these. 6 of these. I got close enough to what they wanted with these chairs, I think. Look at this. I'm gonna be lazy so I don't have to rotate them. Now I will rotate them. But it was funny. What the hell is this thing? Mine is at whatever setting is light blue on this mouse. I don't know what it is. Oh, and the child's house. Can I put them here? There you go. Your house. Oh, it wants it in here. Oh, it's so heavy. These people have bad taste, and I just have to go with it. This is why I couldn't do this job, because I'd be like, this is trash. What's it want here? Oh, it wants tables and chairs. I put those down here. Or no, it wants some here, too. Okay, it wants some here. This is not staying there forever. We'll put it here. I don't know. I just work here. 3 stars. Ratboy's sensitivity is at so low that he has to swoop his mouse across the entire desk. But he says that that's what's best for gaming. And I guess I trust him because he is always the highest rank in all of the games that we play. But I can't live like that. So instead, I am going to die an early death with a broken, fucked up wrist. I'm just moving back and... Oh, you can see my little guy. Look at this. This is how I game. And then I was like trying to back up and I was running into my little wrist rest. I probably need more room, but alas. Too full of bullshit on your desk? That's probably a bit. Does he have a desk just for a mouse? He might. No, he just has like a big space. So if I moved my stuff over, I'd have more room. But also, like, I sit kind of a bit far back, and I feel like I'd have to push my arm quite far forward. And I can't do that. It will affect me. My wrist was hurting pretty bad the other day. I ain't saving no photos of this place. They said we love it, and we're gay. Yes, dude! Once you get used to aiming with the arm... Oh. But then I have to do it. Assembly. I can assemble stuff now, it says. What have I got in here? After Party Aftermath. And New Walls, New Me. From Mark Pischini or something. Amazing. Can I save this? Save. Game saved. Okay. That will be all from me for today. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. And then, what time is it? I will probably play a little bit of Deadlock with Jamalki and friends. And then I will be playing Scamline at around 11. With DBJ and other people. So that's what I will be doing. I won't be back tonight on live. But I will be back tomorrow at the same time. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'll play. We'll see. Thank you for being here. I've got all of my house stuff going on, so I'm excited for that. Let's see who else is live. Look at my little mouse, you can see. Yippee, yippee, yippee! Okay. Cool Matthew is live. And we know them because they're in the chat a lot and they are very nice. So we will raid Cool Matthew. Thanks for hanging out with me today and listening to me yap. Because I did spend a long time yapping about vagina health and birth control and stuff. So you're welcome for that, I guess. Thanks for the support today with everything. I really appreciate it. And then, I don't know what I will do tomorrow. Maybe I'll keep doing House Flipper because it's just fun. Strawberry bagel. Strawberry, strawberry. And I've got other stuff. Got a few other games I can look at too. I don't know what I'll be doing with blueprints because I feel like I've got so much information in there and I'm still don't have enough information and still put a lot of hours into it, so we'll see. Tomodachi Life has a demo. I need to do that too. IUD Simulator. I don't think I could play that on stream because it probably has vaginas in it. Alright, see you later. Bye 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 bye. I do have the game from you too. I need to do that. Bye 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 bye. Bye bye bye. Bye bye bye.